Jay Sano without intro music. Jay Sano with intro music. Intro music remix. Jay Sano 19, Jay Sano 19. Jay Sano 19, Jay Sano 19.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back. So we spoke about the marathon and stuff last episode, and planes were part of that topic because of, flying. The week before I went to the marathon, I went to Michigan. Did I tell you about my experience on the plane in Michigan?
No.
So my wife had knee surgery, and
On the plane?
yes, on the plane. It was amazing. It was that surgeon was so skilled. No, she had knee surgery shortly before the trip to Michigan. And so she's been on crutches, and she's currently on crutches, and going to be coming off the weekend of Halloween is the first time she's supposed to be able to like bear weight on her leg and all this stuff. But we also have, a 7-month-old child, and we were flying back to Michigan for something I had to go back there for, but my parents, we really want to see the baby and all this stuff. So I got to learn a little bit about the handicap accessibility options in airplane travel.
Yeah.
Have you got to experience this at all?
I haven't. No.
So
I'm ready to hear.
You get to, let them know that you have somebody who requires like wheelchair assistance or whatnot. Because granted, she normally wouldn't need wheelchair assistance because she's on crutches. But for one, airports are fucking huge. You can't expect somebody to like crutch through an airport who's 1 week post-op and actually be successful at getting anywhere. But for two, we have a baby, and I'm carrying, the baby, her bags, my bags, like all that stuff through the airport. So I was like, let me see about these wheelchair options and see what we can get, locked into place. It's pretty easy to do on the airline. You just click the button on your ticket, you go in, let them know you have wheelchair accessibility. When you get to the airport, it's a little disconcerting because there's no way to make somebody just be waiting for you at the curb. I coincidentally pulled up to the airport in my car. We saw a wheelchair randomly sitting at the side that I jumped out of my car, grabbed the wheelchair, loaded her up in it, threw the baby in her hands, and threw the suitcases out of the car, and then drove the car to the parking lot to then take the shuttle back to the terminal. So that's a little, scary in itself to have to do. But once you finally get to the gate and get everything worked out of the gate, they give you this like person who wheels you.
They give you a person.
They give you a person. A person now belongs to you. Like it's like slavery at its finest. No, they give you a person who basically takes you through the checkpoint. Granted, you have to still wait in line at the checkpoint, but everything else you don't have to wait in line for anymore. He wheels you through up to your gate, up down the
right. You're like first on too.
Oh yeah,
right?
You can be first on. Granted, we were late because it took longer for me to drop her off, go park the car. Then when you're traveling with a baby, you have to, no matter if you've previously checked in, you have to check in at the desk and tell them that you have an infant for one, and you have to get your stuff for your stroller and your car seat. You have to do that all at the front before security. So you have to go through the normal line anyway, which is always annoying. Why is that fucking line always full? I don't get it. You can check in online now. Anybody besides people needing that special assistance, why are they in that line?
I don't check in online, but I just go to the kiosk and check in.
So the line is super full all the time of people waiting to go check in with a person.
Well, see, I don't understand that either, because at my airport, there's this line, the same line you're talking about, and it's always full of people. But I guess I always thought they were waiting for the kiosks, but now that you say it, there's all these kiosks open and they're not going to them.
Yeah.
See, what are those people doing?
I don't fucking know, and I'm so confused. And I get the random.
Maybe they've never been to an airport.
Well,
Maybe they just don't know. They just don't know.
I would get the random person here and there who had gotten a last minute flight or whatever and is supposed to, told like to get this flight, you need to check in with the desk. I would get that. But there's like 30 people deep. waiting for this thing, which I just don't understand.
I don't think. I bet. How many people? What percentage of flyers do you think just have never flown before? Like on a day-to-day basis. Let's say there's 100 people. I mean, I know there's more than 100 people coming through the airport. What percentage?
50?
Well, yeah. Okay. So, how many people do you think goes through an average airport every day? Because there's like 200 people on a flight, right?
If you had never flown before, don't you think you'd be more likely to use the online check-in process?
Fuck no, I'd be terrified.
To use the online
honestly,
check-in? I think today...
I hate it. The one time I've tried to check in on my phone, it didn't scan right, and I was standing there trying to get my phone to scan, and like over and over trying to get my phone to scan, and it never could pick it up, and I ended up taking my phone out of the case, and then finally I could read the phone screen. It was like a mini-minute process.
I prefer to have the paper boarding pass for sure, because I've run into the more of the issue when I go to put my phone on the little scanner thing, and my phone reorients and it turns the image and it screws everything up, or it goes to a lock screen as I'm putting it down there, or even worse, when they send you to, it's not that they texted you your own personal, like, here's your UPC, it's they sent you a link to something that you click on, and when you walk into the airport, all the airports have their Wi-Fi that they want you to sign into their Wi-Fi. So the second you hit your button to load it up to show the people at the airport, all it does is redirect you to the airport login Wi-Fi screen. That drives me fucking insane. I'd rather have the piece of paper. I understand what you're talking about with that, but I check in online and then just print it out, or I'll run to a kiosk real quick.
So now my question is, what's different about checking in online versus just checking in at the kiosk?
You don't have to wait in a line.
No. Well, there's no line for the kiosks normally.
Oh, the kiosk. No, kiosk is fine. I'm okay with kiosk. I'm talking about the people though who are at the line. Not the
right. I guess that's what I guess. Well, yeah. So I guess I'm just saying a little separately to the conversation is I don't ever check in a line because I check in at the kiosk. But it's
so if you fly Southwest, which I fly a lot of because
because you have to get your seat online.
Correct. I have to get my seat online. Other than that, yeah, there's absolutely the only difference is how much later I can be to the airport if I want to be. But yeah, I'm like you though. I don't want to go to the airport super late. My wife, on the other hand, is all about getting to the airport as late as fucking possible. So she wants to be able to be checked in online so that she can basically run to the gate to watch her flight take off because she didn't make it. Which is happening.
I think if I didn't have the Sky Lounge, I'd probably care more. But that is just like, go sit the Sky Lounge.
Yeah, I don't have that access normally. I just got lucky once with you last year where I got it for free, and this time I paid for it, but it was well worth the $30 to pay for it.
And I think anytime you're going to be in and I guess that was kind of like what we were talking about, people just don't know in regards to checking in. I think that's another situation people just don't know. I don't think people know that they could even go to the skies, because there's no way these people that sit at the airport when their flight got delayed for 6 hours or something, and they just sit there. They have to not know that for $40 they could be sitting at a Sky Lounge and take a shower.
Well, yeah, but
have some drinks.
Granted, the average person would have to pay what, $50?
No, it's 45, I believe is what it is. Even if it's 50, you have to. If you're sitting at the bar for 3 hours at an airport, you spent well over $50.
That's extremely true. Like, I will never think twice now about going to a Delta Sky Lounge, because I would spend way more at the bar waiting for a flight that was delayed for 6 hours. No question in my mind. Because airport drinks, not even because I'd still drink a ridiculous amount that I probably should not drink, but not talking about that. I mean, in general, it is.
Oh yeah, it's like a beer. It's like $10, right? It's like you're at a baseball game or something, but you hate life instead.
When I was in LAX, I went there. I had an hour and a half layover, and I was like, okay, I got this layover. I'm gonna go grab something to eat real quick for lunch, and wait for my plane. The burger was $13, I believe. The beer was $14.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was one of those, like, I was like, what the fuck did I just do? Like, why did I just buy this beer? Like, that was just stupid. But I did anyway because I had nothing else to do. I was just sitting there waiting.
Right.
But back to the wheelchair guy. The guy that they give you. So you go through the normal, TSA line, or whatever line that you're supposed to go through in TSA. You have to wait. You don't get to rush ahead of that. But he starts walking us like toward the airplane, around the people waiting, and onto the, you know, what do you call it? The
jet bridge? Is that the right
the
word?
jet bridge. Yeah. That would be it. Or the jetway. Jetway, jet bridge, whatever it is. He walked us out onto it, and as we were walking toward the plane, I glanced back, and these two women who were probably in their like 40s or 50s were walking very quickly behind us all the way through the airport. I don't know like if they had like why they were following us, and it was one of those things that was like, okay, are they just following us, or are they just walking fast because they're going to be late for a plane? Do they know that we're going to the same plane that they're about to board, or what? But they were walking very quickly behind us. We get to our plane. I look back. They're still following us going toward the jet bridge on our plane. We go around the line. The guy gets us through everybody. They scan our tickets. And I look back, and these two women are still right behind us and present their tickets to the person at the front desk. And I'm like, they're boarding like the A-row at this point. And I was seriously like, okay, should I say something right now? Because these ladies are like, just like, are they cheating the system? Like, what are they doing? And then I stopped myself, and I was like, wait, this takes fucking balls. These women.
So they were using you guys as like a way on?
We had nothing to do with these people. They followed us through the airport onto the plane. They scanned their tickets, so they had like tickets to that plane and everything. But they used us to walk around the fucking line, pretend that they were with us by just walking close enough to us, and like literally,
that's insane.
We walked up to the plane, and they like stopped the wheelchair, and Julia gets out her crutches to start like crutching up the aisle of the plane. And I like glanced back, and they're still sitting right behind me, walking on the plane with me, and I was just kind of like in my mind, I was like, touche, like that's fucking.
I can't believe that.
That takes some balls. And at first I was mad, and then I was like, damn, good work, ladies, good work. Like, because all I was thinking in my mind.
Yeah, I would never have the balls to do that.
I'm in the bed, by the way. I don't know if you are.
I am in a ravine.
Oh, so that is not a bed. The opposite of bed, I would say. But yeah, I would never have thought of trying to do that, and they did it, and they did it successfully. And I mean, part of why they did it successfully is because I didn't say anything, and I really don't think.
I wonder what would have happened if you had said something like, "I don't know this lady. Who's this lady?"
I mean, would they have just probably kicked her to the back of the line? That's the only thing I can assume that they would do is kick you to the back of the line, right? They're not going to kick you out of the airport for trying to cut.
Right.
But yeah, that was. But it was, the nice thing was, ignoring those ladies, when we got to the next place we were going to, there was somebody waiting at the exit.
Right, to take you.
To take us there. It was like literally somebody waiting.
Did they have a car waiting for you too? Like the little
No, there was no cart, but they had a wheelchair waiting there. And they take you through to the baggage claim, ask us where are you going to? You know, what, are you going to another flight, or are you going to baggage claim? We told him baggage claim. He said, okay, after that, are you getting picked up, or are you got a rental car? And I said, we have a rental car here. And he said, okay. And they literally just took care of everything. They took you over to the place to get your bags, and they walked us over to the shuttle that gets onto the rental car. Like, granted, it kind of sucked because I didn't plan on this, so I didn't have a lot of cash on me. So we were scrounging to get cash to tip these people, because I believe that they're, you know, it's a tipping type of service, and they earned it. They were very nice and did everything that we would have ever wanted them to do. But I didn't know that service existed.
I knew it existed, but I've never actually got to use it. I mean, you always see the people that are using it, like getting on off the plane. Normally older people or whatever. But yeah, I've never actually got to experience it in its fullest. It's pretty nice.
And I'll tell you, traveling with a baby is amazing because everybody loves babies.
Except when the baby cries on the plane.
Well, and luckily he didn't. Our baby's not a crier on the plane, which is amazing because he cries at a lot of other things, but he's never cried on the plane. He's gotten rowdy on the plane, like he was on the brink of gonna cry because he was just fussy and moving around, but he's never actually broke down crying on a plane. And he's flown a lot. He's flown like 5 or 6 times.
On my flight to London, I was in like the little section like right after first class, and so I was like the seats in front of me were first class, and this woman at the back, that's also where the bathrooms were at. So her baby got to crying, and she brought it up like towards the bathroom area. I guess she's probably gonna try to change it, that sort of thing. And after she left, the woman at first class goes, couldn't she brought it somewhere else? Doesn't she know this is where first class is?
Were you like, "Fuck you, lady"? I'm a father too.
I didn't say anything. I mean, because I wasn't in first class. She was in front of me, right? Because I was in like the seats right behind first class, basically. So yeah, I wasn't able to speak to her, or I guess I could, but she probably would have been offended by that too. Don't you know I'm in first class?
I'll be honest though. Before becoming a father, I think I thought of babies when they would cry in public and stuff differently than I do now. So
Yeah,
I very well
maybe.
could have been that asshole who was like, "Oh, fucking baby crying on the plane, like piece of shit. Like, why don't they just leave the baby at home?" You know, type of deal. Whereas now I'm like, "Oh, a baby. He looks like my baby."
I've come home to sleep.
I'm in a ravine.
No, you're not. Oh man.
We sound like a terrible marriage, Guude. You're like, "I have come home to sleep."
Where's my dinner?
Let me come home. You know, it's funny. The sun is rising.
Is it?
Let me see if I can get into
Jesus.
bed before the sun
You
rises
show
all
it.
the way.
So I wanted to bring it back around to the marathon. What was your favorite segment this year?
Oh, sliced.
I think it was mine too.
I mean,
Sure.
just because it was so much fun, and I'm a big part of Sliced being one of the judges, and you're a big part of Sliced being one of the chefs. It's a lot of other people might have like Sliced is the big draw that everybody has, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, that's a cop out," but we're really big parts of that segment, so it makes it a lot of fun too. Other than that, I will say that I had a lot of fun with Battleship Twister. I had a lot of fun with Time Out or Time's Up, the card game. Like a lot of the live action stuff, I really enjoyed. It was just fun to hang out and do stupid things that I do with people on a regular basis, and not just like it kind of takes the gaming out of the relationship I have with people in Minecraft.
Yeah.
Like the real life stuff is like what's kind of like, damn, that was awesome because I just got to hang out with this person as a person, not as
Right.
a like somebody behind a computer monitor.
It was kind of weird setting up the computers for the whole thing because it was like, all right, so what games do I need to install so everything's ready? And it's like, all right, we're going to play 2 games that aren't Minecraft. All right, those are installed now, and Minecraft, and good. Computers are good. I mean, honestly, if it wasn't for UHC, we would not need that many computers at all. Like, we should just drop you. If UHC wasn't such a money bringer as far as donations and stuff, that segment should just go away, and that would alleviate so much headache going into the marathon.
Yeah,
You
hell,
would not need all those computers.
The only other thing besides UHC was Hermitcraft needed the most besides that, right? And it was only 12
Yeah.
versus UHC. I don't even know how many computers were actually set up and functioning.
We had 25 total,
25.
which actually one didn't work, so we had 24.
Yeah, we definitely, if we could somehow make UHC not a segment, which people are like, "Oh,
Right.
don't say that." No, I don't want that to actually happen. But yeah, that is the only reason we need that many computers.
It's pretty crazy.
Do you
I think-
do you see the marathon going more live action in the future? Because
Going what?
more live action. Because think about it, the first year that we did the marathon, we were all together. It was
Well, the first time we did the marathon, we were all at home.
well. That's what I'm saying. The first time it was all together. Because
Right,
obviously,
okay.
when you're at home, it has to be like computer based because there's not much else you can do at that point. If you're interacting with other people, you're doing it somehow through the computer. The first time we were all together, I think it was 90% computer games.
Or console. Yeah, it was mostly
computer or
gaming.
console. Some type of electronic media was needed
Right.
to run most of the segments. The second year, Sliced was introduced, Battleship Twister was introduced, a couple other things, and I
We
honestly
tried
think,
golf. Sucked.
I honestly think a part of the draw of those segments is not just because we have so much fun doing it, is because it's something different than people get to see us do on a regular basis anyway.
Right. I agree. It's not just, I mean, they see us play games all the time.
Right. Right. So it's all of a sudden like, wow, these guys aren't just playing games. Like, they're doing something different than the same old computer-based or PC game that I saw before. I
never would have thought Slice would be as successful. I thought it was going to be something that people liked, but even going into this year, after we reworked the way it works for money, I was a little bit skeptical that we would raise as much as we did. I'm so glad that we did, so we can justify continuing to do it.
I would agree. I think we need to continue to modify it. I think the cutthroat aspect of sabotages adds a lot to the game, but I think we could still do so much more with it.
Well, so that's what I was talking about afterwards, when we were doing a little bit of post recap of it. When you look at the donations, there's a big surge, and then there's the show, and there's the big surge, and there's the show. And I think what we could add is the ability for more interaction while the show's happening. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is have like some ingredients that are in a locked pantry that could be bought for us,
that unlocked at any time during the competition.
Right, or like I could say like, hey, I really need this Parmesan cheese or something, and so if someone pays whatever the ransom is for this Parmesan cheese, then I can now use it, or that sort of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I also think there needs to be a benefit to, and it's hard to say this because the whole point of this is donations. We want to get donations, so we want people, like the money that was spent on people to win the game, so quote unquote, the money you donated to specific people was meant to be used because you want them to have less money, so people want to donate more because it drives donations. The whole thing is for Extra Life charity. The whole point is a moneymaker. Like, there's no question about that to anybody's mind. I want there to be an incentive for not spending money or for winning in some way, shape, or form, but how do you actually mix that in with the donation drive that it is? Right,
all right.
And it's very, very difficult to do, because that's what the whole point of like Cutthroat Kitchen. You don't want to spend your money on the sabotages because you only get to take home what you don't spend.
Right, but at the same time, everyone starts the same out. It's funny, Breon was saying afterwards that the guy that received the most money ended with the least amount of points, and the guy that received the least money ended with the most points.
That's true. That's true. Didn't the same thing happen with wait, what else did we donate money toward?
Poker.
Was that the only other thing?
Yeah, I was at the bottom of that, and I ended up winning. But that was all luck, like that with the stupid wheel spin and the blind hand.
Well,
like
Packrat didn't win. Packrat didn't get donated anything, and he was second place.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could have been in the fake doc because he had the most chips.
He did have the most chips. I'm surprised as many people donated to that as they did. I'll be honest. I'm glad they did. Don't get me wrong. I'm so happy. I just didn't think that many people were going to donate that much money to poker. I think poker made a decent amount of money. Granted, not for the amount of time it went on for, because it went on for,
I mean, it wasn't supposed to go on that long. But you know, honestly, I don't think that Mario Kart would have made anything. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing that happens during Mario Kart.
Oh, yeah, what incentives are there for Mario Kart?
I mean, there's the standard things of like wear the dino suit, wear the gloves on your hands, hats, and those sort of distraction things. But there's nothing special to Mario Kart that doesn't exist in any other segment. So yeah, I think Mario Kart was just one of those things where we wanted to play it, but there. As far as charity is concerned, it doesn't have a lot of draw.
Right. I'm so glad that it's for charity, because a lot of the things that were done, people would just look at as like money grubby assholes that we are, trying to what we're trying to do, which is exactly true. It's just we're money grubby for the Extra Life charity.
I mean, that's totally true. Like every bit of planning that goes into this, whenever we talk about segments, the first question that's always asked is, how do we make money with this?
Right. And it seems that people understand that that's exactly what we're doing, and it's not because we're trying to make money for ourselves, because we don't make any money off of this. I spent more money on this than anything else. Like, I spent I can't say a decent, I can't say like a bunch of money, but I spent a decent amount of money between Ubers, you know, food, time off work, etc. I mean, I'm talking,
Right.
I'm in the thousands of dollars that I would have otherwise had for myself
Right.
had I not been going to a charity event. So
Yeah, totally. I mean, this was the first year that I didn't buy all the stuff for the for the event.
oh, did they actually buy it this time?
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
that explains why they were going out for the runs all the time.
Right. Yeah, every other year, it's like I personally pay for like the shirts, which the t-shirts were mostly left over from the previous year. They did have to do a final run there at the end and buy some more shirts, but all the food and all that stuff that was there, they bought all that. They bought everything for Slice this year. But yeah, like in all the previous years, I bought it all.
Do you think Michael stole his hair dye?
Well, he says he's going to do it, so as long as he actually does it, I will not think that he hid his hair dye.
I mean,
definitely said to him, I was
Sev
like, so you
straight
did
up
that,
got
right?
his hair dyed red. Like, nobody can question that way. All seen it done. I got my chest waxed, and granted, you might argue that I didn't get the entire chest waxed. For one, we wouldn't have had enough wax strips for it. For two,
Right.
we were out of time. And for three, I'm pretty sure the pain I endured and what you guys saw was fulfilled the obligation that was attached
Right.
to that goal. I would have continued going if people needed it, but yeah, we were out of wax strips as well. Or we were running out of wax strips that needed to be used for other things.
I don't think anyone expects you to wax every single bit of hair.
Oh,
off your
I think my wife did.
Did she?
I think she wanted it to be gone. Like, she wants it to be gone. And so I watched.
She got home and she was like, "So what the fuck?"
Yeah, I watched that segment back, and it's so funny. I was reading the comments, and everybody's comment, like, it just cracked me up because I was like, "Oh my god, look at that fucking chest hair! I cannot unsee this." And I'm like, now you understand why. Like, this is a punishment when I say I'm going to get my chest waxed. Anders, I think, thought it was a big joke. You know how Anders wouldn't even show his feet? Oh, you probably didn't see this. Anders wouldn't even show his feet when we did when he got the ice bath. He kept his socks on because he was embarrassed about his feet being like too hairy. And he said he wouldn't take his shirt off because he said his chest was
kept
too
his
hairy.
socks on in an ice bath?
Yeah. Which is probably
That's weird.
Oh, it's probably 10 times worse because they probably just kept that coldness for like 20 minutes.
Right?
Afterwards.
That's terrible. That's so weird.
But it was funny because he made some comment about, I don't know what came up about the shirts coming off with the whole waxing piece, and he was like, "Jason, you got nothing on me. This is like you think that you have something on me. It's ridiculous. Like, obviously you're doing this chest waxing thing because you don't have much." And when it came to the who wore it better, and I took off my shirt, he goes, "Holy shit, you actually have a lot of chest hair." He's like, "I thought you were just fucking with me." Like,
that's hilarious. I did not know that there was this. I missed out on this whole.
Yeah, you'll have to watch the clip because that's what he says. Like, as the co-host, these are the things that I get to see during the punishment doling out. As he was like, "Nope, I'm gonna leave my socks on," and I was like, "Why are you leaving your socks on?" He's like, "My feet are nuts. They're too hairy. I do not want to take them off for the camera." I was like, "Okay."
So weird.
Okay. This is what he told the world. I'm not like telling a secret. Like, he told the stream this.
right. That's wild. Oh, it's nighttime and raining.
Nighttime and rain. Yes.
I guess we're out of time too. Actually, let's not run this into the ground like we did the last episode.
All right,
So
guys.
thanks for watching, everyone.
See you next time.